If you want to do right by Margaret, my suggestion is that you tell her the truth. If I happen to die in the morning, why, you better believe I'll die saying one thing: the ballot or the bullet.
I'm here to bring those men back.
Yeah. I just wish I knew what else you were here for.
And you're still going to see it?
Hey, I can't miss it on your say-so. Don't even know you. Who's that you out there dancing butt naked at the Players Club? I mean, I've been getting a history lesson about New York as I've been doing this show. You know, not only New York, but specifically Harlem, and Harlem in the 60s. So I've learned a lot throughout shooting the show.
How does an actor disappear so completely into Malcolm X that even historians forget they're watching a performance?
One of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism.
Nigel Thatch has done something most actors only dream of. He's embodied one of the most iconic figures in American history, not once, but twice, in two completely different productions.
And that's what Malcolm X was telling people. When you are confronted with people who aren't peaceful to you, how do you continue to be peaceful to them, especially when they're beating and killing you every day?
There are two things about Nigel's journey that will surprise you. First, the athletic career he walked away from that could have made him a household name in a completely different way.
Look here, Joe, I hate to be the one to tell you this, man, but good side, you may want to stick to radio.
Joe Buck here with the legendary Leon.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
And second, the reason he had to leave Godfather of Harlem just when the role was defining his career.
A combination of business negotiations, COVID delays, et cetera, pushed our schedule in a manner that made it impossible for Nigel to work with us because he was pursuing other things.
But what he said in a recent interview about what Malcolm X really represents will change how you see both the man and the icon forever. Born on August 8, 1976 in East St. Louis, Illinois, Nigel Thatch grew up in a city that was equal parts struggle and resilience.
I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois. It doesn't really get much more urban than that. So I know what it's like growing up in that environment, you know what I mean? And I know what it's like have limited choices, limited opportunities, and what those limitations.
But here's where his story takes an unexpected turn. Before Hollywood, before Malcolm X, before any of it, Nigel Thatch was a professional baseball player.
Man, you better believe it. I'm supposed to make an appearance tomorrow, but the check they sent ain't cleared yet. Everybody should know by now Leon can't cook without that dough, baby.
He pitched for the Schaumburg Flyers in Illinois, and his professional debut, he struck out the first batter he faced on 3 pitches. That's the kind of entrance that makes scouts take notice. But Nigel had a different dream brewing. In the 1990s, Nigel started showing up on television. His first major role came on the sitcom The Parenthood.
You wrong, brother. The American way is standing up for where you're from and for what you believe in. Like Professor Peterson.
Yeah.
Then came appearances on Sister Sister in 1990, Moesha in 1999, and Girlfriends in 2000. He was building a resume, learning the craft. But it was a series of Budweiser commercials that made people actually remember his face.
Pittsburgh. With all the excitement going on, I guess I forgot where I was.
Nigel played Leon, a cocky, self-centered, egotistical, multi-sport athlete whose motto became instantly quotable. Leon ain't playing unless somebody's paying.
I guess I have to predict. My only Super Bowl predictions I can make is that I'll be paid to watch the game this year instead of playing in it, you know what I mean? Since things didn't work out like I thought, but...
The character was larger than life. People started recognizing him, calling him Leon on the street.
Well, actually, Joe, I'm contemplating a career in broadcasting.
Really? Since when?
Since I saw your catering card. I see you working with the roast beef, you got your baby quiche.
Glad you like it.
I do.
It was his first taste of what it means when a character you play becomes bigger than you are. From 2002 to 2005, he appeared on American Dreams, the NBC period drama about a family in the 1960s Philadelphia. The show gave him a chance to inhabit a specific era, to understand what it meant to exist in a time that was both recent and distant. That experience would prove crucial later.
All the time, under all situations. I think that Malcolm X said things that needed to be said at the time then, in the 60s, and now today in 2019.
Then came 2014. Director Ava DuVernay was casting Selma, her her historical drama about the 1965 Selma to Montgomery voting rights marches. The film centered on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but Malcolm X appears briefly, and DuVernay needed someone who could capture Malcolm's essence in limited screen time. She chose Nigel.
And yes, I have been piercing in my critiques of nonviolence. But because we don't agree, Mrs. King, does not mean that I am the enemy.
The role wasn't large, but it was significant. Nigel had to embody Malcolm X at a specific moment in his life. During a brief encounter with Coretta Scott King, he had to convey Malcolm's intelligence, his intensity, his evolving political philosophy, all in a handful of scenes.
And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy.
And he did it so effectively that people started asking, who is this actor? Selma was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It put Nigel on a different level. Suddenly, he wasn't just the guy from the Budweiser commercials, he was the guy who played Malcolm X in an Oscar-nominated film. In 2017, Nigel joined the cast of Valor, a CW military drama about Army helicopter pilots.
We'll be flying a load of antibiotics into a refugee camp. Now, a successful drop will not only save lives, but it will be the next step in bringing back Sergeants Cam and Hendricks.
He played Warrant Officer Richard Mad Dog Ramirez across the show's single season from 2017 to 2018. The role was a departure from historical figures and period pieces. Then in 2019, everything changed again. Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein were developing Godfather of Harlem for Epix, a crime drama centered on notorious Harlem gangster Bumpy Johnson, played by Forrest Whitaker. The show would explore Bumpy's return from prison in 1963 and his collision with the Genovese crime family. But the writers wanted to weave in the real historical figures who were shaping Harlem during that explosive era. Malcolm X was one of those figures, and they wanted Nigel Thatch.
Every man has a legacy, whether they want one or not.
That answer right there, that's what separates a good actor from someone who actually understands the person they're playing. Nigel wasn't interested in playing Malcolm as the angry black man that so many people reduce him to. He wanted to show the foundation, the peace, the reason behind the words that made people uncomfortable. In Godfather of Harlem, Malcolm X isn't just a historical cameo. He's a fully realized character navigating his relationship with the Nation of Islam, his evolving political consciousness, and his complicated friendship with Bumpy Johnson.
All of us, bored shitless. Surprised to see me, huh? Malcolm is an old friend of mine.
The show imagines conversations between these two men who, historically, moved in overlapping circles during this explosive period in Harlem's history. Nigel played Malcolm across the first 2 seasons, from 2019 to 2021. His performance earned him a nomination for Best Supporting Actor at the 51st NAACP Image Awards. Critics praised his nuanced portrayal. Fans of the show consistently listed him as their favorite character. He wasn't just playing Malcolm X, he was revealing dimensions of the man that textbooks and documentaries often miss. That conversation reveals something essential about what Nigel and the entire cast understood. They're not making a documentary, they're making drama. They're changing things to make the story work, to entertain. But if it gets people curious enough to check the actual history, to question what they've been taught, then the show has done something far more valuable than perfect historical accuracy. And then, just when Nigel had fully inhabited this role, just when Malcolm X in Godfather of Harlem had become his signature work, he had to leave. Scheduling conflicts, other commitments, and COVID-19 delays that made everything infinitely more complicated. The production needed Malcolm X to continue in season 3, but Nigel couldn't return. So they made the difficult decision to recast the role with Jason Allen Carvell. It's the kind of Hollywood reality that rarely gets discussed. An actor delivers an outstanding, award-nominated performance, and then circumstances beyond anyone's control force them to walk away. The role continues. Another actor steps in, but something irreplaceable is lost.
Nigel Thatch is intensely private about his personal life.
Unlike many actors who share every detail on social media, he keeps his cards close. Is he married? Does he have children? What's his net worth? These aren't questions he's interested in answering publicly. And that privacy feels appropriate for someone who's spent his career disappearing into other people's lives. His filmography includes The Players Club in 1998, 100 Kilos in 2001, and Selma in 2014. On television, beyond Godfather of Harlem, Valor, American Dreams, and The Parenthood, he's appeared in One-on-One in 2002 and an episode of Early Edition in 1997, where he played an older brother despite being 5 years younger than the actor playing his younger sibling in real life.
What's next for Nigel Thatch remains somewhat mysterious.
He hasn't announced major upcoming projects publicly. He's not the kind of actor who needs to be in everything. He chooses carefully, waits for roles that matter. There's something poetic about an actor who played professional baseball, struck out his first batter on 3 pitches, and then walked away to chase something less certain, who became the face of a Budweiser campaign and used that visibility to land more serious roles, who played Malcolm X so definitively that he got to do it twice, in 2 different productions, and both times made people believe they were watching the real man. That understanding of Malcolm's motivations, of why he pushed so hard to make people see him as sincere, as genuine in his transformation and his beliefs.
That's what made Nigel's portrayals so powerful.
He saw past the mythology to the human being underneath, a man trying desperately to be understood. From East St. Louis to a pitcher's mound to Selma to Harlem,
Nigel Thatch has built a career on transformation,
on becoming other people's so completely that you forget you're watching an actor. He's never chased fame in the traditional sense, never overshared or overexposed himself. He just keeps doing the work, keeps disappearing into roles. And somewhere in that choice, in that commitment to the craft over the celebrity, there's a lesson about what it means to be an artist. Sometimes the work speaks loud enough on its own.